Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Return to the planet of the apes.
Welcome to another episode of Go Ape Podcast. I'm your host, Jon Randall. With me, as always,
is Brandon Geiger.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello.
Didn't think we'd be meeting this week, but here we are.
Here we are.
A treat for our fans. Our commitment to our fans.
Our 5 or 6 fans.
All 5 or 6 fans. A commitment to them.
They're happy that there's going to be a new episode of Go Ape Podcast.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yep.
No flags at half-mast for Go Ape Podcast this week.
No at all there. So what's going on?
What is going on this week? In a mere hour and a half, the NES Marathon will be kicking off. I encourage all of our listeners to contribute if you can.
Now, what is it?
We talked about it last week. We don't need to go into it again. But that starts in about an hour and a half. I will be watching, as you pointed out last week, and another mutual friend of ours pointed out about me. I am a huge nerd, apparently, for sitting there watching it the whole time.
I don't know if it's a nerd. It might possibly be a psychosis or something. It's something wrong.
Let's just face it. I don't have
Nobody watches anything for 24 hours. Nothing.
I'm sure there's people
24
out
hour
there
Le Mans. The 24 hour Le Mans race is 24 hours, but I mean, I'm certain some people watch that. But that's once. It is
Fox News Network or CNN, MSNBC.
I guess
when you want no facts.
But you got that thing going on, and you've got a couple games that you're gonna possibly have them play.
I already donated. I started off $25
US dollars.
I donated for them to play Remote Control,
the old MTV TV show.
Yep.
It's a very good game.
It's where comedians Adam Sandler and I guess Colin Quinn got their start. Quinn's not.
You guess that he's a comedian?
I guess that he's a comedian.
He did get his start.
He did get his start there. That's a fact. I can't deny that. But
he probably pounded away at the old
Pud.
Yeah. The old comedy store places.
Right.
And then he got the gig.
I didn't care for Colin Quinn.
He's not a Colin Quinn fan.
Well, he was terrible News Update.
Well, you hate the Irish.
That's not true.
Your Greek blood makes you hate the Irish.
We had no problems with each other.
Well, you forgot your own problems.
Well, that's true.
Vice of the Greeks.
All
right. So, Remote Control. MTV's Remote Control.
Yep. So that's what I donated for to start with.
And who was do you remember who the head dude of that show was? He's dead now.
I don't remember his name.
He died like a year ago or so.
He was the forgotten guy that never went on anything else.
He didn't go anything else. And then what other games you think
rest
about?
in peace, forgotten guy.
Yeah.
We'll always remember you.
Duke McDukes and I don't know what his name was. What's
I'm still laughing at We'll Always Remember You.
Yeah. What was the other any other games that you're thinking about playing?
I don't know, man. I was thinking maybe Rampage, Gunsmoke. Donating towards those.
Gunsmoke's a good game.
These are games I was just thinking. You had mentioned Willow. The only problem I have with Willow is how long are they going to play a game like that?
You can't really play a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, I mean, you want something that's going to be kind of actiony for them to mess with. So
I like Trojan. It's a tough game too.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, cool. Anything else?
No, I got that. You had a couple things you wanted to go through today.
Well, let's. We'll just talk about that they announced the name of the new Episode 7 Star Wars movie.
Tell me more.
It's called The Force Awakens. What do you think about that? The name is Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think it does.
Nope. They're way off.
All right. Well, I guess what they're saying is that Han and Leia's kids are, it's starting, they're breeding the people that it should really be called the midichlorians awaken.
Well, first of all, they're like 70 years old, so this is like we're reaching Strom Thurmond levels of having kids.
They started banging right when they got married and stuff, and then their kids are going to be grown up.
So they're going to be like 16, 17 in this movie?
I guess. I don't know, 18, 20.
Who cares? Let me tell you the problem, Brandon.
It should be. Well, the first problem, the midichlorians awaken. We're agreed on that.
No, we're not agreed on that. We're not agreed on that because midichlorians don't exist.
They do exist.
They don't exist.
We found that out in Phantom Menace.
So wait.
Because Jake Lloyd's Darth Annie, his midichlorians were through the roof. Remember?
More than Master Yoda.
Master Yoda.
We had that on record. It's always for a comparison.
Yeah.
Like I stick you, get a blood sample.
It's a laminated sheet. They look
Brandon's midichlorian levels right beside it always Yoda's levels.
Yeah, it's got Yoda's, Mace Windu's. It's got it's a laminated cardboard so that everybody has, and you can just read it.
I got more midichlorians than you.
He's off the chart.
Midichlorians are terrible.
Well, it is what the Force comes from.
It is not.
It's canon.
Yoda told me.
He told you personally.
He told me personally in Empire Strikes Back. The Force is everywhere.
Okay.
It's between me, you, the sea, the rock, this microphone. It's everywhere. That's where the Force is. There's nothing to awaken. It's inanimate. It doesn't exist by bacteria in your bloodstream. And I'll never believe that. I'll never acknowledge those movies. They're trash. There's only been 3 Star Wars films. I don't know what the Force is awakening from because it's not conscious. The Force is always there.
It should be the Force breeds, I guess, because they're breeding their kids. See, what happens is...
Here's the problem. It's what you said. You said there's really not a better title for the movie, you guess.
Well, I don't know what it be.
What would it be? That's the problem. I can't say I got a better title for the movie.
Well, we don't know what the story is either.
But I'll tell you this. The Force Awakens is stupid.
Okay.
That's where I'm at
So
on that.
thumbs down on The Force Awakens.
Thumbs down, JJ. If this gets to you.
My thumb is inside my fist, so I don't know exactly which way to go.
Well, my thumb's monkey-like, so it's not opposable. So I can't really give it a thumbs up or down.
Opposable thumb.
They don't have opposable thumbs.
Damn it!
You need the fucking missing link. That's the reason why.
Anywho, so yeah, there's that, and then I was thinking about what we could do about this episode, and for me this week, not much is going on. That I've had just more role playing, like always role playing. That's a given. I watched a very unique sword and sorcery movie last night called Conquest, which was berserk, and it just had mountains of fog all throughout the movie. They're fog machines. They had like 80 fog machines, I guess, and they were like, "What are we going to do with these fog machines? We're going to crank them all up, you know." So we got that.
Fog budget was through the roof.
Yeah, fog budget was through the roof. And I thought, let's tell our 6 or 7. I'm gonna keep raising that number up.
Okay,
just
12 or 13.
Maybe they'll tell their friends, and and their friends will start listening. What are some of our favorite things? Okay, because I mean, at this point, me and you we're pretty much celebrities. We're Planet of the Apes celebrities at this point.
True.
And people want to maybe
you had a request this week for somebody to meet me.
Yeah, I mean it's autographs. He wants an autograph from
pictures.
Me. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like a
What about an 8x10 on my face?
God. Ugh, that's
remember?
Does it have to be your face?
Remember Brano? That old picture of Brano? I'll sign that to him.
Yeah, that's a terrible picture.
Bradio.
John could look like a monster in that picture that he had. He does not photograph well. I believe it's possibly his face, but I'm not sure.
Well, it needs to be like the episode of The Simpsons where Homer was making that sexy calendar for Marge, and the photographer was like, "Let me just fix the lens." Scoop Vaseline, spackle it over the lens of the camera, and then that fixed it.
That fixes it.
That's what I need for cameras.
So I figured that we could go through a list of our favorite things that we like in nerd culture and media stuff. So, such as, we'll start off with, what's your favorite film?
Jaws.
So Jaws is your favorite film?
Hands down.
Okay. And my favorite film from the same director is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. We've talked about this before. So I really enjoy that movie, and you enjoy Jaws. I also enjoy Jaws. It's a very good film. And
there's not many movies for me where the chemistry between the 3 lead actors syncs up so well between Dreyfuss and Schneider and Robert Shaw.
Right.
It's amazing. The 3 of them together is just great.
The movie's not about really the shark as much as it is just about those 3 guys, and I mean, the shark is there, obviously it's cool, but the best parts don't really, in my opinion, don't really have anything to do with the shark.
Yeah, it's them talking, interacting with each other.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, his is Jaws, mine's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I really like that movie a lot because it's, and I've said this ad nauseum to people who, whenever I've talked about this, it's a catalyst movie. It really, when people are, whenever people, you have to think about, a young guy, girl, teenager, kid watching that movie, how much it inspired them and really, had their brains just kind of churning in for, imagination. And I think it's a really kind of a timeless movie too. And it's a movie that you never really fully get the answers about what happened. So you kind of make it yourself, and what if that was me type scenario. And I just think it's really a great feeling you have when you're in the vibe of that film. So, and
it means something. This movie means something.
It means something. This means something. So what's your favorite TV show of all time?
Wow.
I thought we went through this before.
We have. I mean, I've got a few up there at the very top, but you've
got to make a decision.
I think for me personally, favorite TV show, probably Farscape.
Yeah, Farscape. You're definitely a big Farscape fan.
I do love Farscape.
It's very good.
And all my shows, I would say, are pretty much sci-fi or
Sure.
Sci-fi fantasy type kind of show.
Me too.
But I would probably put Farscape at the very top.
All right.
It's a great show.
I need to continue watching it. I know I started it, and that was a slack period in my time. Is it still on Netflix? Do you know?
It goes on and off, but
Yeah,
I've got
Netflix is
it. I have it on
sometimes.
DVD and Blu-ray, complete series. If you want to borrow it.
Netflix is a whole other rant that I can get into. Okay, so Farscape's yours. Mine is going to be Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Obviously,
Big Star Trek fan. I used to watch it. I lived in France for a couple of years and didn't get a whole bunch of English-speaking shows, and so they used to show it on a channel over there in English, and we had satellite at the time, so that was good. And it just was like a daily, just a real nice daily little thing of science fiction, and I really love it. It's just a great show. I think it only gets better through the seasons.
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a show that just gets better and better and better. Except for the Dixon Hill episodes, they never get better. Those are the black and white is in essence Dookie in those. So I don't care for the Dixon Hill episodes, and they were a big groan when I saw it was a Dixon Hill episode. Well, just got some great characters. Fantastic show. Best favorite video game? What's your favorite video game of all time?
I think we're going to agree on this.
Well, you know mine, so
Symphony of the Night.
no, that's not mine.
That's not yours.
Not anymore. It used to be.
I'd probably put Castlevania Symphony of the Night on there. It's just so much replay value in it. Like I'd start it over and over and over again. Also, right up there at the very top, and maybe it's this one's for you, Fallout 3.
Yeah, Fallout 3 is my favorite video game. It used to be Symphony of the Night. I really like Symphony of the Night. The problem with that game that I have, I guess, for long term is just you have to almost govern yourself back down. You get so powerful that it becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're not using certain weapons. I mean, if you're using Chris and Jim, you might as well stop because there's nothing can stop you. I mean, even when you get the Dracula at the end, within like 4 seconds of pushing the button that attacks, he's dead. I mean, it's. Yeah,
but it is an amazing game.
If you want to give yourself a challenge, you just have to be like, okay, I'm just going to use this gun instead, this sword instead.
Just use short sword. One of the first weapons you get.
Rust.
Yeah, use rust. Ugh. No, Castlevania Symphony of the Night's amazing game. Looks gorgeous. Amazing soundtrack. Fantastic soundtrack. Just an absolutely great game. And that's well known, But Fallout 3 is my favorite game of all time. And I have to say that Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas, I've played it twice now. It's really grown on me more and more. My second playthrough was even better than the first. And even though I can't say that they're one game, I put Fallout New Vegas like just like a millimeter below Fallout 3. But Fallout 3, if I had to pick one, grab one, burning building, I'm going to grab one game to take out of there. I'm going to take Fallout 3. Just an incredible game and an incredible soundtrack. And I love it.
Well, and I'll also throw this out there, and I know this is going to sound really simple and silly. NFL 2K5. Yeah, just because, I've got probably I probably have 120 hours in my franchise in that, and that's just on 360. Mm-hmm. That's not counting what I played all those years on regular Xbox.
Yeah.
I've played that game so much and just done so many seasons on it. It's just a great game.
We're big 2K5 fans.
To this day, I still love that football game.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, anything else? Music is subjective pretty roughly. It's not like your favorite song. I don't even know. I don't
even listen to music anymore. All I listen to in my car are podcasts.
Yeah, I still listen.
That's it.
You do listen to you listen to Go 8 podcast then. It's one of the number one podcasts.
I don't listen to Go 8.
You're like, I love Go 8.
That's true. That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
I still listen to music, so music's always a big thing. But I don't know. I guess favorite band or something like that. It's all kind of.
I wouldn't even know who I would pick.
It's a little bit harder choices.
I think for me, actually, I could probably name it. It is Queen, hand down.
Oh yeah,
I love
Queen. A big Queen fan.
Yep.
So that's good. Anything else before we go into episode 9? Right. Episode 9, the interrogation.
I do have one thing. Mm-hmm. Now we are going to do the episode 9, the interrogation first, but at the very end, if we don't forget, I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
We did tease our audience with a little bit of Jonathan Randall in a newspaper one time.
Oh, boy. Do we need to talk about that right now?
No, not yet. We'll talk about it later. Let's just not forget.
Because you think people will be so disgusted at the story that they'll stop listening to the show altogether.
I would. I would.
You're just so embarrassing. I'm not going to listen to this freak.
Yeah, exactly. So let's we'll get to the episode, and then if we remember,
It is a black
we'll
stain.
get to the end.
It's a little black spot on the sun today.
Did you see that on the Blogspot page? On our Blogspot page, I put that in there. And once again this week we broke a promise in which we failed to deliver on something we told people we'd get back to.
Well, we're losers. I mean, we failed.
Well, the problem is we don't really bullet point the show beforehand.
Nah, this is all free based.
Yeah, free based. So yeah,
We're just free balling is what we're doing.
I am.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
So, do we have an episode next week or no? We don't, do we?
Next week, no. We probably won't record next week because
You'll be watching.
No. At 2:00, I'm going to the Peace Center to see the Book of Mormon.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that next Saturday.
All right. Well,
unless we wind up recording at your house that night or something,
or Sunday or something.
But
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, listeners, don't dismay. We'll be back no matter what. Just it's a matter of when.
I think I got a birthday party too.
Yeah, well, see, it works out for all of us.
Okay, so episode 9, The Interrogation. This is Planet of the Apes TV show, once again, episode 9. Mm-hmm. And just to start off, this episode now, and watching it the second time, was very good.
Yeah, much better than we remembered it.
Well, I don't remember having any issue with that. I just remember us having some good laughs at some parts.
Well, I think before we watched it today, I kind of had it as like one of those middle of the road episodes.
Me too.
But it's definitely better than that.
Yeah,
it's really more up towards the top now.
Yeah,
it was definitely a good episode.
This is definitely hitting maybe 5 or 6. This is like number 5 or number 6. Possibly.
Yeah, I put it in top 5.
Yeah. Pretty good. So the episode starts off, and you see a goon squad. They're on horseback, of course, and they're chasing our boys. And they're on it's some pretty rough terrain. It looks like they're almost like on a rocky field or something. But they're chasing them, and they've got nets to go. Of course, the goon squad's going to use their nets,
which is the second most feared ape weapon. The first being a whip.
A whip to the neck, possibly.
Yeah,
they hate necks. It's innate. And so it shows these guys on horseback. It shows our boys running, and I'm like, they're caught. There's no way they can get away.
Absolutely not. We were
They're
talking
not that far away.
You're talking from
yards.
where we're sitting to like my neighbor's house across the street.
50 yards tops.
Yeah, There's no getting away from them at this point.
But somehow
it's a big open area.
It's not really until there's this little bit of some trees,
kind of a tree line.
Yeah. So they run towards it, and they split up in 3 different places. And Peter
is the hero.
He could be the martyr of the group, as Galen hides in this tree, this like
hollowed out tree,
which is pretty cool. Peter hides up. Alan hides up underneath like
fallen like log or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then Peter, he gets netted.
Yeah, he kind of runs to distract him. Like he runs back towards them to try to have to make the horses turn around, and he does what he needs to do to save his buddies.
Or it's incompetence. I'm not sure.
The good of the many outweigh the good of the few.
I guess so.
Or the one. So
he does go down with a fight though.
Oh yeah. The moment
they
net him, he falls over. They get off their horses to grab him, pick him up. As soon as they pull the net up, as they're pulling the net up, he's flying out fist forward.
Yeah, he's fighting.
So,
which, if I was the gorillas, I would have taken my gun and pulled the trigger and blown his brains out. That's what I would have done. Because I don't think Urko would have been like, "Oh damn, you blew his brains out." He'd been like, "Okay,
great work, commendation."
Yeah. But that's an enemy for you, villain. Yep. Villains are stupid.
You get the Gorilla Medal of Honor for that.
Yeah, I would have just caved butted his head in or something, saved you a bullet.
Done anything.
Because those rifles look like they could really batter some bodies, because they're just like one big piece
It's like a huge hunk of wood, yeah.
Yeah, with metal in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then you remarked who makes the bullets, who's been making the bullets.
Yeah, I started thinking about that.
They got gunpowder.
Who's making these 8 bullets though? With their, what fine work that is for their monkey paws.
I don't know. You can't say monkey. They're not monkeys.
Well, whatever.
Don't say that to Galen if you ever meet him. So it switches over to Zaius, and he's talking to a female ape. You find out her name is Wanda. It's an ape called Wanda, and he's talking to her, and Urko comes in, and of course they're both giddy that they've captured. Have you heard the news? Of course I have. We've captured Peter. They're like Gakel and Burke, which is, I think it's funny that they call them by their last names at times. And then you hear once again Urko, astronauts, which is very humorous.
Well, I think the reason they do that, by the way, is the first time they ever caught them, they were wearing their astronaut suits, and it's probably on their suit as Burke and other guy, whatever Alan's last name is, Verdon.
Sure, respect.
So I think that's why he does that, because they probably still have their suits somewhere hanging up on a wall. He's throwing darts at them.
Well, he's like, great, we've got Peter. What we'll do is that'll lure in Galen. We don't have Alan and Galen, so that'll lure them in. They'll try to rescue him. So we're gonna kind of shut down the roads going into Central City, as it's called, and we're gonna be able to flush these guys out. Mm-hmm. And Zeus is like, we've got a brand new experiment. This is perfect timing. We got a brand new experiment that scientist Wanda here wants to do, and Urko isn't happy about that whatsoever. Because he wants to just do the old lobotomy.
Yep.
And Wanda, she's got a book from 1986, and it was found in a time capsule that they were so fond of apparently in 1986. Of course, that was the future. She knew that in 1980. They knew.
Which I find it funny that they're all now acknowledging that this used to be human Earth.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting little moment.
Before, it was still being denied.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, everybody's in acknowledgement that this was human Earth. Look at all these human things we had.
But I guess Wanda was kind of secret. She was on the down low. You know what I mean? That she knew it was because of the book she had found, and we want to use this. And in this book, it's a book on brainwashing. And there is a very humorous scene here where Urko is like, oh, great, brainwash it. So you have to take the brain out and wash it
in cool water.
Wash it with cool water. And they're like, no, this is a breaking of the wheel and forming of thoughts and stuff like that in their brain. And he's like, no, you got to take the brain out of the head.
How do you wash the brain without taking it out of the head?
Yeah, it's very humorous, and it shows again that he's just he's a gorilla.
He hates science.
He's
one of many things he hates in the episode.
Yeah, he's very much against science. Wanda, they say that Wanda's going to interrogate Peter, and she has permission of the council to do so. Okay, so council powers is what she has.
Urko states, I'm in charge of all interrogations.
Yep.
And Zaya says, you're still in charge. She's in charge of how it's handled, though.
Correct. You can watch if you want, and lobotomy will be a last solution if this perhaps fails. Yes. But keep it on the hush-hush. The only people that are going to know about it is Zeus, Urko, Wanda, and a handful of selected guards. Okay? And it's going to be in an undisclosed location. No one's going to know about it. And we're going to keep it hush-hush. Mm-hmm. All right?
It's like the albino's tree in Princess Bride, where they take care of Eloise for interrogation.
You're right.
Only like 3 people knew about it.
That's true. It's a very good scene too. I need to get that movie on Blu-ray, by the way.
Yep.
No, I think I do have it on Blu-ray. There's a lot of movies I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade them to Blu-rays.
Yeah. Because
I've been starting to read, and I'm like, I need that on Blu-ray. Okay. So it shows Alan and Galen, or they're kind of doing the Legolas, Gimli, Aragorn thing, where they're trying to run and to exhaustion. They're following this riverbed to get to Central City. Alan and Galen are, and I think everybody pulls their weight in this episode.
I'll give you
that because Alan and Peter really don't have a whole bunch of talking of any substance.
No, this is a big Galen episode.
Once again, it's a big Galen episode.
And his family.
Yeah, and so they're running, and it switches over to Peter. He's in this cell. And there's a constant banging of like gongs and bells. And it's pretty frustrating, actually. I can see how that would wear you down.
Well, I think they were banging the gong and then getting the interrogation on.
You son of a bitch. I knew where that was going instantly. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. That's rough. Violence.
I think we just figured out what our song is this week.
I think so. I think just a wave of violence got on me. Okay. All right, back on track.
Give him a minute.
Face hurts. My face hurts from that.
Yeah, from laughing. Ooh. Grinning at it.
Ooh, just like a flush of heat. I'm like, whoa.
All right, continue.
Okay, so she meets with Peter and she's like, I'm going to interrogate you. We're going to work you over. And she's like, look, hopefully you're going to win or you're going to fail. If you fail, you're going to die or become a vegetable. That's what she says to him. And there's no possibility of escape or rescue. Nobody knows you're here. You're fucked, is what she says. I'm gonna work your ass over. And she wants to know. There's a couple of goons there with him. Of course, constantly throughout these whole scenes of interrogation, there's these gonging and these gongs and these bells and stuff. And she wants to know which humans have helped him. And he's like, I don't have that information. I don't know. We've had them. Many people have helped us, and many apes have helped us.
She wasn't pleased with that.
No, she's not pleased with that. She wants specifics, names, dates, stuff like that, times. And he's like, look, I can't really help you with that. And she's not pleased. I mean, she's pissed, pretty much. And it quickly switches back over to Galen. He's in a field laying down, and it shows an ape on a hay cart. It's got a horse and stuff. and he gets off the cart and goes checks on Galen. He's quickly getting the drop on by Alan and Galen. And Alan quickly puts like a cloth over his head. And Galen has a stick, and he's like, "I'll shoot you!" Like puts it into the guy's back, acting like he's got a gun. It's kind of humorous. And they grab his cart with the hay and stuff.
Now this cart doesn't look like much, but this cart has a secret.
It does have a secret. You'll see coming up soon.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. But I'm going to tell people just as a little tease. In this world, in this universe, this is the Millennium Falcon of hay carts.
Of hay carts. So it switches back to Peter, and they've got that damn light that they use to signal from far on hill, from the hillside.
Fucking tinfoil coconut light.
So Peter's getting like the banging of the drums, the gongs, whatever, the bells. He's getting this light being done into his face and then off his face and on his, back and forward. You see he's starting to sweat a little bit, and if he tries to move or something, he's kind of shoved by one of the gorillas, and she's still interrogating him. So and you can see that it's starting to really get to Peter at this point. Mm-hmm. He's starting to lose it a little bit, and then there's a very humorous scene where it switches back to Urko. He's looking at a map, and what are you pointing at? What is he pointing at the map with?
Well, this is another instance of he hates pointing at maps with his fingers.
Yeah.
So what does Urko do? Gun. He's using his gun to motion everywhere at this map.
Where are we going here?
And we're not talking about like he's out in a field, getting ready to command his men into battle. He's sitting in a chair in his office, map in one hand, gun in the other, just pointing at the map.
Talking to another gorilla.
Like, put your gun away, dude. That's how people get shot. That's how accidents happen.
Shoot himself in the leg, it shows his stupidity.
Yeah, that's not gun safety.
No.
He's not a Republican. I'll tell you that.
No, and he's talking about what roads need to be shut down and watching. We're going to watch the roads. You're going to be coming in, and sure enough, he's right because it shows an ape on that hay cart. They're coming into town, and it's Galen on top.
Are you sure? It was a female ape, I thought.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently, in this world, all you need to do is just have like a shawl over you. The males do, and they become females. Just use your voice. There's nothing else that looks differently. And so you obviously Alan's hiding in that hay. Mm-hmm. Galen's on top. And you can see there's a lot of patrols. Going on the roads.
Yep.
Switch back to Peter again. He's having a lot of difficulties with this interrogation. They're working him down even more, and it shows some goons are roughing up a human, shaking down people that are coming into town, and then you've got the cart. Galen's there, and he's using his female voice. And like I said, I've got written here, 8 men look like women. Just put a shawl on them, and they can't tell the difference. And then they're able to finagle, past this because they start stabbing the hay,
Yeah, searching it out.
He's able to go past. They stash the cart, and that's when you see the Millennium cart.
He pulls down the grass skirt of the cart, mm-hmm. and underneath the hay, a secret compartment. Who knows what this would ever be used for? Secret compartment for smuggling humans in, I guess.
And Alan's in there.
Taking
a nap. I don't know.
So,
and they're able to get out. But yeah, it's a kind of a funny thing that this cart's got this little spot in it. So they sneak out. They're in Central City now, and they go to, you find it's Galen's house. So you get to meet as the door is opened up, and you see a female ape who
abhorrent.
She's abhorrent. She's rough looking, but she's very unique.
And that's what I told Brandon. I said the one good thing about it was the makeup was so good. She looked unique. Didn't look like other female apes we've seen before.
Correct.
The makeup was good. She was just ugly as sin.
Yeah. And that's his mom. Her name is Anne. And she's happy to see Galen. There's a smooch between the two. Awkward. And his dad walks in. His name is Walu, which is an interesting name.
All right.
And Walu's not very happy to see Alan. Okay, or Galen. He's like, you guys are wanted men. You're wanted on 12 systems. Yada yada. You watch yourself. And they're like, look, I'm back, Dad. We need your help. He's like, look, I'm not going to help you. The only thing I'll let you do is have shelter. But I'm not going to help you out. And so obviously tension there between the past and Galen. And you find out that Walu, his dad, is a council member on the council. So that's very helpful for them. Quickly, back to a gorilla is telling Urko that they found this abandoned hay cart. And they found the shawl he was wearing and the robes that Galen was wearing. snatches sodas out of his hand. Urko's very pissed.
Urko hates Shawls.
Yeah, I do love how Urko, whenever he's talking to a gorilla and he wants them to explain something to him, he talks to them kind of like they're not like a child, but he's just like,
he's like,
okay.
He's like, explain it to me like I'm a child.
Yeah. His arms are going up and down. He's like, okay, tell me what you found. What's going on? It's like very laborious and just kind of plotting. He's like, okay,
he hates all his soldiers.
Yeah. He's having to talk to them like they're idiots. And he's like, okay, take a search party, go to Councilmember Walu's house because they might be there. Yalu, or whatever his name is. It's weird. It kind of changes throughout the episode.
I think it was Yalu.
Yeah, it's well, I saw it in the
Yalu. Right?
Yeah, that's what it said in the beginning, but people started calling him like Wally or something. I don't know, Walu or whatever. And it switches to a scene where Galen's trying to explain, I've got written here, what's what to his dad, because I was kind of like, it's kind of one of these weird little moments. And Alan's sitting in there with alone with Anne, Galen's wife, and he starts to
Galen's mom.
Yeah, Galen's mom. He starts to put the moves on her a little bit, and there's a sex scene here between. So Alan is.
It was unexpected.
It was very unexpected.
Television.
It didn't happen, but of course it went through my mind pervertedly. I was like, tear her up, dude. You got her all alone, but she is abhorrent, and her face looks like scrambled eggs. And so all of a sudden there's like this knocking sound from above because his dad said we're going to put a servant up on the roof to look for keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. Yep.
So the signal is there. So there's a goon squad coming, and they hide underneath. It's a trap door underneath a rug. Not really explained why they have that, but it's a trap door. It's underneath a rug, and on top of the rug is a chair. The chair is very light looking. Looks like it's made out of foam.
The chair was carved out of a tree trunk.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
And they instantly moved it.
They practically moved it with like one hand, like grabbed it with one hand and moved it out of the way.
Yeah, so a little questionable.
Questionable chair. The goons begin to search the house.
Yep.
And not pleased is Galen's parents whatsoever.
Nope.
Very pissed. And they want them to leave. And there's kind of a pissing contest back and forth. Like, he's like, Walter's like, I'll tell that Urko, that fucker, come messing with my shit. And his mom is sitting on that chair and she's like knitting or something, which is kind of funny. Of course, that's actually pretty smart for her to do. And then the best scene of the whole movie, right, comes up. Peter is being spun on this table.
It's definitely Peter.
It is 100% Peter, I believe. Incorrect. It is a dummy.
A crash test dummy.
A crash test dummy of Peter. Is this a good-looking dummy?
Nah.
It's...
Well, not if you put it in slow motion.
If you pause it like we did the first time we saw it and then proceed to laugh at its terribleness, it's a dummy that's spinning very fast of Peter. And I've got here, his mind is becoming mush.
Yeah, he's really starting to crack up at this point.
It's a bit of a mess. What happens next? You don't have a clue.
Are you talking about when Urko comes in?
Nope. It switches back to Galen and Alan, and they ruse a gorilla that's walking about. He's walking out front of this jail. They say, well, they're obviously going to be keeping Peter at the jail.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the jail. They try to ruse this gorilla. They get the jump on him. Alan does a double-fisted chop on his back.
Kirk crush.
He does a Kirk crush. And he's like, look, we're going to go to the jail. You do everything normal like you normally would do. They bum rush the jail guard. They kick their asses in there. They've got gats, so they get some rifles. And Peter's not there. I'm like, what? How's Peter not here? This is the jail. Of course he's got to be here. And back to Peter being interrogated, and Urko's watching.
And helping.
Yeah, he helps. How does he help?
He quickly sits Peter up off the rotating, spinning table, and after a much struggle to get Peter to help him stand up, a quick backhand to the face of Peter, into which Wanda is none too pleased.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing? You'll ruin everything. He's like, I'm trying to help.
She's got the book, and she's trying to look at the book, and he hates words on books.
Yep, he hates knowledge.
Yeah, he does.
Urko hates a lot of things.
And then, he puts him back on the table, and he's, ready to smash him, and he's, really conflicted, because they're like, no, don't do that, and he's like, oh, I want to bash him.
He looks at his fist, and then kind of does that sigh, where he's like,
I want to bash him.
Ugh, I hate my life right now.
Oh, it's hilarious. Galen and Alan is back at...
Galen's house.
His parents' house. And they're like, did you not know where he was? Like, and his dad's like, I don't know. I don't know where he is. And they're like, well, Urko's office probably has records. We'll go to Urko's place, his office. And it just instantly shows them sneaking in from like a hole in the wall or some shit.
I guess it's the window.
I guess, yeah, it's a window. Them sneaking into Urko's place. There's no like showing them out in the like getting there. There's no protection or anything, security. They light a candle and they start looking through the records. Peter is back to spinning, but this is actually Peter, not the dummy.
Right,
so that's spinning. And she's reading a book, and she's doing a good ventriloquist act as she's talking. It's got her thoughts going, and she pretty much reads the passage in her book where it's like, use your feminine wilds to get this guy. All right, so I was like, oh, here we go. We're going to see a little interspecies mixing up here between Peter. And she's like, okay, guards, you'll go ahead and leave. And they're like, that's not very smart. And one of them starts barking. And so they leave. And I said, she reads that a female might be able to persuade with sexiness.
So she starts patting her hair.
Yeah, doing her hair, taking her glasses off. And she starts talking to Peter, and he goes into like a dream sequence.
Where he thinks he's with a girl having like a first date.
Yeah, some blonde human back on Earth in a park.
And the person's like, tell me about you. Tell me about your life. What do you do? And of course, all this is her talking to him.
Yeah.
And in his mind, he's picturing it as a human female. And then, of course, she's moving in for the kiss. Wanda is. Moving in for the kiss, and right at the last moment, Peter's eyes bug out, and he's like...
He balks.
Get your ape face out of my face.
Yeah, he's like, ugh, that wasn't a good idea.
And then he spins over, completely just destroyed in his mind.
Yeah, because he saw that she had an ape face, which is disagreeable.
Yeah.
And Wanda pretty much tells her gorillas, like, well, tell Urko that the prisoner belongs to him.
Yep, I'm done.
I'm done. I've failed. Switch back to Galen and Alan. They're poring over some records once again, and they find reference to some guards being sent to a cave. No reason why. So there's some Urko's showing back up at his place, and he's got some guards with him, and so they quickly make a extremely acrobatic leap out the window. I'm certain that was actually Ron Harper and what's his name?
And Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell.
As
it's about 6 feet off the ground.
Yeah. The window's like 6 feet up, and then all of a sudden you see Ron Harper just run and dive.
Perfect dive.
Like dive straight through this window.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, here comes Galen, does the same thing. Like just dive head first straight through the window.
It's very humorous. They find the cave, and they see that they're loading Peter onto a hospital cart. And they're like, oh shit, they're taking him to the hospital. It switches back to Urko. He's at the hospital, and he's telling the doctor, look, the doctor's like, I can't.
Well, the doctor had a thorough diagram of a brain.
Yeah,
of how to deal with a body
drawn in crayon. I believe.
It looked like it was. It had like the controller scheme for a Super NES controller. Because I saw Y, X, A, and B on like different sections, and I mean clearly it's like
he knows what he's doing.
It's like punch a metal spike in a Y, and we'll be done. We'll call it a day.
Yeah, we'll be done with that. The frontal. What is it? What'd she call it?
The frontal bump.
The frontal bump. Yeah.
The frontal bump is the part they have to cut out.
And so he's like, look, I need 30 to 60 minutes. I can't guarantee you anything about this. And he's like, you got 30 minutes to do this, what Urko says to him. And it switches back to Galen. He's asking his mom for her carriage. She's got like a carriage. He's like, we need your carriage. Help us out. And now she really starts to pull her weight as she agrees. And she goes to the hospital, and she's got Galen in bandages. And Alan is acting kind of like, I guess, like a human servant. Orderly. There you go. He's got his blue tank top on. He's got his short shorts on.
We're going to call this Anne's ruse.
Yeah, this is Anne's ruse.
This is where Galen gets all his ruse skills.
Yeah,
it's obviously from his mother.
And she probably had to use a lot of ruses, considering she's got that face that she's got.
Yeah, it's true. She had to trick Galen's father into marrying her and impregnated her.
Probably so. Ooh. And
monkey sex.
Donkey dick.
Keep going.
That was funny. Monkey sex. That's not right. It's ape sex.
Whatever.
They're not monkeys.
You laugh.
All right. Anne uses her political powers, that's what I say, to get into the hospital. She's like, don't you know who I am? My husband is a council member. This poor ape is all fucked up.
She's got bloody bandages on Galen's head.
Yeah, he's like, look, this guy's a mess. They won't let her in. And then she finally persuades him. She's like, look, this guy's all fucked up. Look at his noggin. He's all busted up. Help us out. And she's able to get into the actual room where they're going to do the operation. Peter's there. And so she's like, look, is my ape more important? I mean, is this human more important than helping out this poor ape? Do you want that on your record? And the guy's like, no, we'll let him do it.
And while she's saying that, a little sleight of hand.
Yeah, she swipes some knives and some scalpels, pretty much from the operating room. And she pawns them off quickly to Alan and Galen. And then I've got written here, goons attacked! As all of a sudden it's a full-out brawl. And it's a pretty good big brawl, isn't it?
Well, let's not shortchange her. What'd she do?
Yeah,
she tricks the doctor to leave.
Yeah.
She tricks another gorilla to start to leave. Mm-hmm. And as that gorilla turns his back, that's when it does it. So they're left with one gorilla that's aware, one caught unawares.
Yep. Sucker punched.
Yeah, so that guy gets quickly knocked out. They're left with one gorilla to deal with between the three of them. And then she, knowing that she's a counselor's wife, has to separate herself from this. So she runs out of the room. Help!
Yeah,
help!
She does a good job.
Yeah. So she has to sell that she's not part of this madness.
And they put a gorilla on one of the beds and pushed up against the door. And I don't understand why that gorilla just doesn't get up out of that bed.
Because he was injured. I'm thinking that's why he's in the hospital.
I guess.
He can't get up.
Get up. Do some. You need help at that point. Just
I think he had like his leg up in a sling. Obviously, his leg was busted up.
He's fucked up. And so it's a big brawl. It's kind of cool. It's one of those like kind of panning shots where it shows people fighting and stuff.
And of course, they're diving and walking over monkey beds.
Alan's kicking ass left and right.
Monkey beds. Yeah. And it's just a big brawl going on with all these other gorillas like that are busted up, laid up in hospital beds.
And then Urko and his guys are trying to bust in through the door. They can't get through. And finally, they wheel Peter out and they escape. It seems like they escape with the help of Anne's carriage. It shows the carriage go off. Urko and them bust in. They're escaping. And so a lot of the apes chase after the carriage, but they're still there. It was a ruse. They just let the carriage go off. They're still there. And she's playing the part of the victim of all this as well. She didn't know. And so it shows them kind of leaving the hospital. It switches back to Urko. They're back to his parents' house, and they're like, "Look, did you help them escape? That was Galen, right?" And she's like, "Nah, it wasn't him. It wasn't Galen." He was like, he doesn't believe her. Obviously, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's like, people said it was Galen, and she's like, "Why would I endanger my husband's career?
He's a council member for crying out loud." And it's a pretty cool part because I do like the actors that played his parents. I thought they did a good job in their roles, and his dad is like. Either I got written here, produce proof or shut up, motherfucker. Is pretty much what he says to Urko.
He's like, it's the old try or try not, because he goes arrest or don't arrest. Those are your two options, Urko. Or get the hell out of my house.
I'll beat your ass.
Because he's like, if you're going to arrest my wife, you're arresting me too. Yeah. And he's like, I'm not going to arrest you. And then he's like, great, then get out of here.
Get out of here.
You got nothing left to say.
Punk ass.
Yep. So Urko leaves dejected.
Yep, and you think that Galen and the boys are long gone, but nope.
So does Urko.
Yeah, so does Urko. Galen's in the next room, and he's hearing all this. He comes in, he's very thankful.
Yep.
And he was listening in the adjacent room. And I've got here, there's a father and son moment.
They reconcile.
He's got to teach him right from wrong. Father and son, he wants Galen to grow up and be strong. He wants the best for his boy.
I thought you were singing Father and Son.
That's what it is.
Yusef is all.
Yeah, I was singing Father and Son from Tim and Eric.
Awesome, I know what you were thinking. I know what you're thinking.
Father and Son, I want to teach him right from wrong.
So they reconcile.
Yep, they reconcile. He's very proud of his son. There's a hug. There's a bit of a kiss between the two. Mm-hmm. And then there's no kiss.
And then Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes. TV show. And then it fades to black.
Yep.
And that's the end of the interrogation.
That's the end.
So let's hear your
good episode. No, it was a good episode. It was much better than we thought it was. Like we said, it's very well paced. Yeah, very well paced. They get through it quick. It's pretty much go through the whole episode, and bang go and get it on.
You son of a bitch. They didn't linger very much with the interrogation. I think that could have really halted the episode.
Yeah.
If they spent too much time with the Peter asking the questions and her trying to do that part of it. So and the parts that they showed him being interrogated were spliced in to good other action parts. You know. So bit of a burp from me and. And I like the episode a lot. I definitely put it up there in the like I said, it's around number 5 possibly. It's probably on the back end of that. It's not. I don't have any real issues with the episode whatsoever. I thought that, of course, it's got Urko again, and I
pointing at maps with guns.
Maps with guns. You've got Galen acting like a woman. You got Anne's ruse.
I'm gonna start pointing at everything with guns.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm gonna walk into grocery stores. I'll take that.
I'll take
that
this
and that. I'm gonna walk into a bank and be like, I'll take this and this.
I think you'll be shot.
You can't
please fix this blood and this organ that's destroyed. And
the moral of the story is you can't point at things with guns.
Yeah, don't point at things with guns. And
not safe.
Yeah, not safe. But overall, it's a good episode. Despite the barking and people apparently hauling ass down your road. You need to do something on this road.
Stop sticks. I need stop sticks.
I guess so. Good episode. And the next episode is called The Tyrant. And we're a little bit shaky about what this episode's about.
Yeah, we know that there's an episode left that we really like, but we can't quite remember which episode that episode is.
Yeah, it's either that one or another one called The Liberator, which we'll be talking about soon. But we only have 4 more episodes of the Planet of the Apes TV show.
Yep. And then we're done.
And it's cartoon time.
I may let Joe Graham take over at that point.
You're not dedicated to the podcast?
I'm dedicated.
Are we going to do 2 episodes of the cartoon, or are we just going to do 1 each?
Let's get 2 and just knock this shit out.
Then what are we going to do after that? You want to talk about the comics? Do you have the comics?
My dogs really aggravate me right now.
Well, murder your dog.
No, I love my dogs.
Strangle them.
They're all I got.
Strangle them.
I live alone.
Headbutts. Do cosmic headbutts on them.
I wish you'd shut up! No, it's no dice. No dice.
No Danish.
You can't stop them.
No respect. Much like Rodney Dangerfield.
No, I do not have any of the Planet of the Apes comic books. And, there's...
I have them on PDF if you want to look at them.
Well, yeah, you got those, but that's the European comics,
I've got Marvel ones.
I was going to say, because there's the Marvel comics,
Marvel
too.
ones.
But I thought they were 2 separate ones.
But I think the European ones are just the Marvel ones kind of redone.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. No, I've got them all, man.
Because, see, the comics I've seen have really nice covers. Those Marvel comics are a little sketchy on the cover.
Well, there's some of the new ones. You're probably talking about some of the new ones.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the old ones from, like, the old days.
No, they had those covers on them.
Did they? Okay.
Yep. That's the British ones.
I thought there was some really nice painted ones.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
That's
I
them.
didn't think those were Marvel. I didn't think those were Marvel. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But anyways, no, I don't have the comics. I know you have them as PDF. We could go over a few of them.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
And then, is that going to be the end of it, you think?
Yeah. Then Go Ape Podcast is over.
Well, what about us we just start back over again and do another podcast about the first movie, and then this, so we just continue to do the same thing? Oh.
No,
we'll do it drunk. We'll do every episode drunk.
But like Go Ape Podcast as a Planet of the Apes podcast will end. We will keep doing a podcast. I don't know if we'll still call it Go Ape. We could Go Ape about other things.
Yeah. Go Ape croquet. Go Ape papier-mâché. Go Ape noodles.
Go Ape pirate shirts.
Pirate shirts, puffy shirts.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's still a little ways out. We'll figure it out. We
don't want to disappoint our 6 or 7 fans at the end of this podcast.
12 or 13 fans.
Yeah, 12 or 13 human fans.
Yep.
Possibly one of those is a robot. With the end of no more podcasts between what I believe now to be 2 extremely successful podcasters.
Real quick, we have a famous listener. That one person who followed his name, Ramina. She has a part in Horrible Bosses 2 coming out.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So she's a big fan of ours. I hope she's still listening.
I don't know if she still is or not, but I actually tweeted her the other day because I saw her tweet that she's in the movie, and she said she's playing Chris Pine's secretary. So it's a speaking role. It's not even, like you said, it's an extra.
Great, good
but
for
she has
her.
a speaking role in the movie. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, she's cool.
Part in the movie.
She's another one of our big fans.
So yeah.
And I would say she's been listening every episode.
Every episode.
And that's the movie, I guess, Horrible Bosses with Jennifer Aniston, right? She's going to be in it again? Is that what that is?
I don't know if she's in the sequel or not.
I think she is.
I just keep seeing, who is it? Sudeikis, Bateman, and Charlie Day in the commercial. I never saw the first one.
No, me either.
I've heard it's very funny, but I just never saw it.
I'm not really... I'll be honest with you, man. Comedies, I just don't... I completely skip them over.
But the 3 of them, we love the 3 of them. I love Charlie Day and Sonny. Yeah. Jason Sudeikis was great in Eastbound and Down.
They're good.
And Jason Bateman was great in Arrested Development.
Yeah, they're good.
So
I for some reason, man, when I just don't ever want to watch a comedy anymore, it seems.
I would watch it. I just haven't had the opportunity to see it. It hasn't been on anything where I can watch it. Any platform.
Speaking of that, that's what I want to speak about with Netflix here at the back end. I've read articles, and people have been complaining about Netflix, and I've got some complaints about Netflix as well. I understand there's all this licensing things about movies and stuff, but what I have heard is that, there'll be a movie that you see that's come on Netflix, and it goes away in like 4 or 5 months or something.
Right.
And it pisses you off. Well, the thing that I'm hearing is that Netflix still has its disc-based subscription model.
They do.
But supposedly a lot of those movies are also not available on disc. Because I think they're going to try to completely weed that out. That's a cost for them. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's very angering because as more mom and pop and blockbusters and stuff like that have gone away, there's no way to watch these movies. With YouTube putting, the holds on some of these, it's not on Amazon's service. I don't know if some of these are on some of the other services that are not as big as Netflix. But with Netflix not showing these movies anymore, nor can you get the discs, these movies are in essence gone. Like, you cannot get them.
Right.
You don't have access to them. And to me, that's starting to piss me off when I know that a movie was on Netflix, and I can't tell you how many times people were like, oh, well, that was on Netflix. I'm like, not anymore. Not anymore. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Deathstalker, that movie we watched, gone. Like, all these movies gone from there. You know, and it really royally pisses me off. What are you doing?
Ordering a pizza from Pizza Hut real quick.
Listen to this guy. He's hitting the...
Gotta go pick it up.
What type pizza are you getting?
Ham and mushroom. Thin crust.
All right. So yeah, that's been a big beef.
I hear some talking outside.
I don't know. You probably got cops around you or something. This place is sketchy. You know that, right?
Every now and then.
I'm certain you've had some crazy shit going on at night around here.
Oh yeah, my
Shotgun blasts.
next door neighbor's been arrested several times.
Oh well, he's scum.
He's a nice guy, but he gets drunk, and that's the problem. I mean, but now he's only got one leg, so I think he's
A little slower to act.
Yeah, I think he's been causing less shit over at his house.
Well, what else you got on the back end? Anything else you want to talk about?
Nah,
Any nerd stuff?
Need to wrap this up. I got to get over to Pizza Hut, and I got to go by CVS. I forgot I got to pick up a prescription. So
Okay. So you've got a song, maybe? I guess it's going to be Bang A Gong.
bang it on.
God dang.
We'll get it on.
All right, and so there it is. It's episode 9 of the Planet of the Apes Interrogation and our bullshit talk. And so, yeah, Abe Randall on Twitter.
Yep.
Savage GM, Go Ape Podcast. Congratulations to that woman getting that part in that movie.
Yep.
And yeah, that's it. I'd like to go Ape. Would you like to go Ape?
I'll go Ape.
I'm going to go Ape too. Love me. Please love me.
Goodbye.
Yes,